How's it going, everyone? It's Masters Week. It's almost Masters times. We're less than 12 hours till the balls tee off. That means it's time for a final bets edition of Golf on Tap with my man Joey Ricotta. Make sure to go and give him a follow on X at Joey Knows Nothing. I'm Jack Bushman. You can check me out at Jack Bushman too. If you're joining us right off the rip, make sure to hop into the YouTube feed. Let us know who you're going to be tailing this week at Augusta National, who you're fading, your favorite plays, your favorite international props, whatever it may be. Hit us with the good stuff below in the comment section. Quick reminder as well to go and follow Golf on Tap for free wherever you may be listening to your podcast. That way, if you're not able to catch us live, you can still check out all of the latest shows. Joey, it's Masters Week, my friend. We're so close to things getting underway tomorrow morning. I know this is always one of the most highly anticipated and exciting shows that we do all season long. How you feeling as we're closing in on Augusta National, my man?
I feel like shit. It has nothing to do with the Masters. I fucking love it, man. I'm ready to go. Like I said before hopping on here, and I mean it's pretty obvious. It's like this for a lot of people. So this is my favorite tournament of the year. Looking forward to it. Every year, looking forward to it. And yeah, man, I'm pumped. I know it's been a few weeks since we've done our typical betting show, and yeah, so this is just what you look forward to. And I'm ready to go. I know for a fact, though, that I do not have all my bets locked in because I have zero props yet. So interested to get there at this point in the show or that point in the show and talk to you and see what kind of props you have cooking up, because this is the Super Bowl. Like,
oh, yeah.
This is where you can, and I wish, and first of all, I wanted to bring this up to you before I even ask you how you're doing. Can we talk about Tiger Woods' little April Fool's joke?
Did it get you?
Yeah. Oh, it pissed me off. It pissed me off. He got me, and I was just so looking forward to when I saw that. I was like, he's going for another consecutive cut. He broke the record last year of consecutive cuts made at the Masters. So I was like, Tiger Woods to make the cut. Hell yeah, that's my prop. And so now I need to recalibrate a little bit and actually look for some legit props here. But yeah, Jack, like, I'm pumped, and yeah, I'm ready to go. How are you doing, man?
I'm a kid in the candy store, my friend. And as you just mentioned, the Tiger Woods to make the cut prop has been a staple of the show the last couple of years. So we're going to have to find a new go-to here in 2025. I do have a slew of props already in. I'm excited to talk through some more things with you here on the show to maybe add a couple of more, because spoiler alert, I don't have the biggest Masters betting card this year. I only got 3 guys on my outright card. And, it's not necessarily the most fun way to go about the outrights, and it's not the way I've done it in the past in the Masters, and really hasn't worked all that well for me the last couple of seasons. So I'm switching things up this year. However, I'm making up for it by having a slew of props. So definitely make sure to stick around until that point in the show, everyone. And I'm sure, Joey, there's lots of people like you who it's Wednesday night right before the Masters. Even if some people do have their bets finalized, I'm sure there's some people that don't as well. But who doesn't want to add a couple of more things to the slip? Because like you referenced, it's golf Super Bowl, Masters Week, the first major championship. Also, the first chance for, I think, a lot of golf fans, and this isn't meant to be a slight at LIV. I just think it's the fact of the matter. It's really the first time a lot of golf fans get to see the LIV players, because they're not tuning into that circuit or knowing what they're doing on a regular basis. Exactly. So we get to see these guys for the first time, most of them since the Open Championship last year. I know a couple competed against PGA Tour guys in the Olympics, but a ton of excitement, as always, for the Masters, Augusta National. I mean, the most iconic and pristine venue in the entire world. Could not be more excited for things to get underway tomorrow morning, Joey. Quickly, before we get into the odds board here and start talking about some of our final bets, for anyone who is wanting to get some info on Augusta National last minute, or some course trends or some key stats to be paying attention to, it's not really, well, Augusta is obviously the same venue that's hosted the Masters every year since 1934. We usually get some kind of like tinkering done or some new nuances or whatnot. It's basically the same course here in 2025, other than some trees being forced to remove from the damage caused by Hurricane Helen in October. And I think because of those trees falling, I think a couple of the greens have had to have new surfaces. But other than that, it's the same old Augusta stretch in 7,555 yards. Par 72. However, because all the fairways are mown in the opposite direction that the holes go, there's not a lot of run out on this track, and it truly plays like a 77 to 7,800 yard course because you're just not getting a lot of roll on your bounces, and that makes it an even bigger boy test, Joey. You know, major championships, you always think about strong, long iron play, got to take advantage of the par fives, total driving. A lot of that is still the same here at Augusta because the course just plays so long, and because you're going to have so many long irons into the greens, missing the green is going to be a result quite frequently, and you got to have both the short game to know how to get out of trouble and the putting as well, because as we talk about year in and year out, some of the most crazy greens in the entire world can run as fast as 14 on the stimp meter. You got to have the complete package to win at Augusta National, but don't think anyone's really going to be surprised with what they see on the course this year. As far as the weather for this week, I expect tomorrow, Joey, to be probably the best scoring day of the four, as looks like we're going to get some decent conditions, but I expect the golf course to still be soft from the rain earlier on in the week. And then we're actually going to get some rain on Friday morning, it looks like, as well. So I think we're going to get a softer opening 36 holes, aka making it a little bit more scoreable. But then I think once the sun comes out over the weekend, it's going to firm up a little bit. The winds are expected to pick up, and that's when I think the course is going to play at its most difficult, those final 36 holes. So excited to see what the Masters has in store for us this year in the 89th edition. But Joey, unless you got any other questions that you want to ask about the course or any key stats that I looked at this week, everything also for anyone who is tuning in, I dropped a full preview article, as I do week in and week out, at ontapsportsnet.com, going through everything that I'm looking at this week. But Joey, anything you wanted to bring up before we jump on over to the odds boards, my man?
No, you did bring up, the new surfaces there. It seems like there's 4 rebuilt greens, the number 1, 8, 15, and 16. Rory was saying that they're playing a lot firmer, a lot faster too. So
they usually do when they're brand new.
That's and I think they were watching, what was it, the lady tournament last week.
The women's amateur.
The women's amateur too. So he had maybe a pretty good look at it too. But I noticed too that, like, one of the guys that I'm interested in this week, that I think a lot of people are, unfortunately, and I hate that. So Colin Morikawa was noting a couple holes that could benefit him too. So that might be a little bit changed. And of course the 10th hole, I think you said, like, the trees, like there's so many trees that got taken down. There could be a little bit of a shortcut there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if that's the case.
So are people going to try it? I could see if somebody's down and not wanting to be very aggressive, or wanting to be a little bit more aggressive too. Maybe that's the case. But it seems like there's a very tight area to be able to get that done on the 10th hole. So I'm interested in kind of all that. And then I guess just the way that it's going to look, the new look of it. Because I think most of it it's more aesthetic changes than it is like real changes. Like you said, I think most of that is not really going to affect the actual tournament from the changes they've made. So, but I think it'll be cool to see nonetheless, the different scenery. But yeah, other than that, man, I mean, this is the same course. Like, we know what to look for. Like you said, it's a second shot course. The approach is going to be huge. The long approach shots, the runoff, like with the green. I mean, it's very small buckets that you got to hit on the green. And then, of course, you got to have some length with the driver and all that. So be able to scramble too, because you're going to get yourself into trouble. So it's a matter of when and not if, and really just not the bogey avoidance, like we always say on these hard courses. That's going to come into play huge. So that's about it, man. That's what I'm looking for, and a lot of the same type of stats that we've done now for 3-4 years on this show.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point though about the new greens and the 10th hole in particular. I don't know if I'm interested to see if people are going to try that. I heard John Rahm referencing it and him saying he's not sure if people are actually going to try it because some trees have been removed there. But I do think the new greens is something to possibly
Rom
keep in mind for those.
Rom didn't even believe it. I'm sorry. He was like, I feel like there's going to be a tree that's going to be built overnight. I don't even believe it.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see if that winds up coming into play. The new greens, though, it is only on a couple of holes, so it's hard to like truly determine how much that is going to play an impact when it's only 4 of the 18 holes. But one thing Rory did reference as well is some of the, and again, I don't think this is going to play much of an impact, but like you said, it might look a little different, not to even us as fans. We probably won't notice whatsoever, but like the players who are out there year by year, guys who make frequent trips to Augusta, I feel like the tree removal will be more noticeable to them. It has taken away some of the shadows on the green at the 16th, I believe, maybe affecting sight lines a little bit, but again, nothing really too crazy. The stats going through that I'd be looking at: strokes gained tee to green, difficult conditions, driving distance, as you reference. I don't think it's an absolute must here at Augusta, but it does certainly help you out because it takes away some of the distance in terms of the approach coming on into the greens. Having less lofted clubs going into the greens is always going to be an advantage, especially when par 4 scoring is a stat I'm looking at. Guys who win the Masters in recent years are usually good par 4 scorers coming in, because when you can pick up birdies on those hard holes, it just gives you such an advantage over the field. And then you absolutely got to capitalize on your par 5s. And again, driving distance, if you can hit the fairway, certainly helps you out in that category. Approach, important as always, every single week. You referenced bogey avoidance and strokes gained around the green. Gotta be able to get the ball up and down around Augusta to have any chance whatsoever. Long irons, proximity 175 to 200 to 200 and 225. I also think 3-putt avoidance and approach putt performance, which, Joey, is something that we can check out at rickrungood.com, is crucial as well, because these greens just have so much undulation and so many contours. Avoiding 3 putts and getting the ball close to the hole on your first putt is a really important metric. And then course history. We also should point out there has been no course that has been more predictive in terms of past results and having the experience and the knowledge to get around this place, more so than Augusta National. And I think just looking at hard courses in general, major type of setups. I'll talk about some trends a little later in the show, Joey, but most of the guys who wind up, I mean, basically all these guys who win this tournament have some sort of major pedigree under their belt and have contended at least one major championship in the last couple of years here. So that's basically everything I'm looking at for the Masters this week in terms of key metrics. But I think it's time to go ahead and turn over to that odds board, Joey, as we're getting about 15 minutes into the show. No surprise, even though he does not have a win yet in 2025, the boogeyman, Scotty Scheffler, still finds himself at the top of the odds board. Then we got Mr. Rory McIlroy next, who has the most money on him this week of any player as he looks to knock down the career Grand Slam. Probably the best form that he's ever had as he's approaching the career Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Scotty and Rory, right there at the top, they're the only two in single digits. You got Colin Morikawa at 16-1, John Rahm at 16-1. And we'll actually just cut it right there. We'll start with thoughts on the big four. Those top four to kick off the odds board, Joey. Are you going to the top of the board? Are you fading the odds board this week? I'm really curious to see what your mindset is at here.
Yeah, I'm going to the top of the board.
It's majors.
It's the major. It's the major in my opinion. But it's a huge week, and of course, I mean, Scotty, I don't care if he doesn't have a win yet this year. I mean, it's like, why the hell wouldn't he be the favorite regardless? And I get it with Rory. Like, I feel like, yeah, man, I really hope he does it. I think this is, like you said, like the form wise, this is as ready as he's been to do it in years. Won at Pebble Beach in February, won the Players just last month, T5 at the Houston Open. The problem is, and this is very important, I can't do it. I won't get suckered in, for me personally, because this is not, I want it. I want him to do it. I want it to happen for him. It's too short of odds for me personally to do it. If he does it, great. Maybe I do actually wind up taking a live bet at some point in the tournament because especially depending on where my other horses are in the race, I'm fine with missing it too at this point, even though it's a major. I would love to be the case where I'm on it, but yeah, I'm going to pass on Rory too. Rahm is like, I mean, he's got the Masters win. I got that one as an outright, and we did this show together.
I remember. Oh, I remember. That's when you were on your major heater, dude.
I know. That was like, God, please, let's go back to those days and let's start it right now. So I would love to just be on Rahm and say maybe he was the key, the linchpin in that whole thing. But to be honest, I just haven't seen him. It's because I'm not watching Live, and I just feel like if I'm gonna do it, there's another golfer that I actually probably feel better about on Live that's here this week. So the guy I'm going with, and now that we've already passed through 3 of them, you can guess who it is.
You bet him every year here.
I bet him pretty much every year here. Is 17.
Not a fan favorite right now, by the way.
What? Yeah, well, and he's like the most tipped guy though, right? Like,
he's most tipped, but most hated as well right now because he's kind of acting like a little chump in the media.
That's fine. Sometimes we need a little villain. Sometimes we need a little villain, and I'm still a Morikawa guy. I know, yeah, he's probably not being the coolest dude on the course, or maybe he's trying to act like Mr. Cool, whatever. But I still think Morikawa, especially when you look at second shot courses, that's when I like him even more. And this is totally that type of week. He's first over the last 24 rounds in approach, which I really like. Incredible Augusta track record. I mean, even though he hasn't really pulled through for me, and he hasn't won here yet. T3 last year, T10 the year before, solo 5th in 2022. He's one of the best on difficult courses. Shouldn't get himself really into too much trouble, I think, with bogeys because, like I was saying before, and we were talking about bogey avoidance will be huge. I think that'll keep him alive too for most of the tournament. So I don't see a situation where we go into the weekend and Morikawa's not kind of really right in the mix to make a run if he does have a good weekend. So 17.7 to 1. What's the random boost that I got? But the 16 to 1 is out there too. And I ended up putting a little bit more money on that because I couldn't get the boost everywhere. It was limited funds to put the boost on. So
hate that.
Yeah, so that's who I got, man. What are your thoughts here at the top?
Yeah, top of the board. I think you gotta go to it, man. Although what I will say is if it's not Scotty or Rory this year, it is like completely up for grabs. And I would understand, a betting card fading those guys could look really pretty, like starting at like 25 and putting 7 or 8 guys together. And that's quite honestly like the betting strategy that I've gone about these last couple of years. And it just hasn't worked out for me. And I went back and thought about, well, when was the last time I did win a Masters bet? It was DJ in 2020 when he was the odds-on favorite to win the darn thing. He was 12 to 1 that year, so it made it a little bit easier of a pill to swallow. But just looking at guys who win since 2020, DJ was 12 to 1. I know Hideki was the one outlier of this group. He was like 35 to 1. But other than that, it's Scotty, who's been at small numbers, and John Rahm, who was at a pretty minimal number as well, probably like 12 or 14. You're usually inside the top, 5 to 6 guys, I would say, on the odds board, because usually the guys who win the Masters, it's not that much of a surprise. They usually have great incoming form. So that's why I elected to change things up this year. I did not go with Scotty Scheffler. I went with Rory, man. And it's only the second time in 3 years. It is the second time this season that I've bet on Rory, but it's only the second time in 3 years. And man, it just really feels like this is the time. Not only the 2 wins that you mentioned earlier that he has at Pebble Beach and the Players Championship, his second career title at TPC Sawgrass, but it's the way he's gone about it too. He's still absolutely dominant with the driver. He's gained 2.6 strokes off the tee in every start this year, except for, funny enough, the one tournament that I bet on him at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. However, Joey, what I also didn't realize at that time when I placed that bet and I wouldn't have placed that bet had I known this at the time, was Rory completely changed his clubs like 2 days before that tournament for the opening 3 rounds. I don't know why. He was coming off of the win at Pebble Beach just a couple of starts earlier. Don't know
I
why he
hate that.
completely changed at clubs, but didn't go well for him off of the tee. It was his worst off the tee metric of the season. Since then, has gone back to his regular driver, regular Rory McIlroy. And then also, he's really gotten the iron play going this season as well. And that's kind of been the thing that's held him back, right? Is the second shots, not being able to capitalize with his wedges after absolutely nuking it off the tee. He's been able to do that so far this year. 2.5 strokes gained off the, on approach shots in his win at Pebble Beach. How about 7.8 on approach at TPC Sawgrass? And guys go about their games differently. Rory is a guy who predominantly gains a lot of his strokes off of the tee, as opposed to like a Colin Morikawa, Joey, who gains all of his strokes mostly with his second shot. When you see Rory getting up to like 3, 4, 5 strokes approach, that's massive because you know what's usually coming with it from off the tee. If he's gaining 3 with his irons, that means he's usually gaining at least 5 or 6 in the ball striking combinations. And then we've also got a really well-rounded short game going on right now for Rory, too. He's gained strokes around the green in 4 or 5 starts this year, including 2.7 strokes around the green last time out at the Houston Open, which is a course that finishes a lot of shaved runoff areas to kind of emulate Augusta a little bit to get guys prepared for that. And then the putter has also been great. He's gained at least 2 strokes with the putter in 4 of 5 starts, 4.9 at the Players, 4.3 at the Arnold Palmer, 3.7 at Pebble Beach. Like, he's got the full game going right now. And again, I think back to Scotty winning the Masters last year and the couple of wins that he had early on in the season to give him that momentum going into Augusta. It was the same thing during his first Masters win. It was the same thing for Jon Rahm. I mean, he was absolutely dominant early on in the season before picking up his green jacket. And the one guy who really strikes me as in that form right now with the pedigree to win a major is Rory McIlroy. The issue is the number being 6.5 to 1. I got him at 7.5 to 1 with a boost at Bet365. Kind of keeping my fingers crossed that someone's going to throw a late boost or maybe like a 30% or early tomorrow morning, as I don't have my full Rory allotment out there yet, but he checks off all the trends, all the boxes. His game's in the best form it's ever been in. And I really don't often bet Rory or guys in single digits. And I've had a pretty good start to the season, Joey. I'm up money, got 3 winners already through the first 14 events. So now feels like a pretty good time to go to the top of the board and bet on a favorite to win the Masters. I know it's not a fun way to go about the betting card, but it's the way that I'm doing it this week.
It's going to be fun if he wins.
It'll be an epic weekend if he wins. It will be an absolutely epic weekend that I will never forget if he wins. Even if I didn't have money on him, I'd never forget it if Rory won. But yeah, I gotta be alongside it for this ride. And for people who can't, I certainly understand it because the price tag for Rory at Augusta with all his demons here, it's a tough ask. I know.
Yeah, but all the things that you said makes you probably feel, and I know it does because otherwise you wouldn't bet it. And like you said, but all the reasons why, the form that he's coming in with, it has to make you feel, anyone that wants to bet it, the best that you're ever going to feel about Rory at Augusta. I mean, if he's not winning this year, he's probably never doing it because this
and that seems like a crazy statement because he's only 35 and we know his year-by-year consistency. I brought this up on the show that I did with Ross on Monday. It does feel like now or never, even though that's a crazy statement and it's probably a not true statement. It feels that way though. It feels that way though. No, I think people get what we're saying when we say it feels like now or never, even though it's probably not. It does feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, if Tiger can come back and win in 2019, it's not like he can never win it, but I mean, it's just
Rory's going to have 10 to 12 more legit goes at this thing.
Yeah. What's holding you back though is more the issue. What's holding you back, Rory? You're locked in. And I also hate, and I like that you brought that up because pretty ridiculous that the one time you bet him that happened, but why would you change? I was
so mad when I found that out, bro.
After a win? That's the dumbest. I hate when guys do that. What are you experimenting with? Did you not feel good during your win? I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway,
I wish I would have gotten that info sooner and wouldn't have bet on Rory at 10-1 that week. What I will say before we go to the next range though, Colin Morikawa, John Rahm, two very intriguing options. I think I'd be more inclined to go with Rahm at 16-1 just because he has done it before, has an awesome Masters history excluding the win. Not to say that Colin Morikawa doesn't, but I think I just trust John Rahm come the back nine on Sunday a little bit more than Colin Morikawa, and you get the same exact odds. But this has obviously been a very good spot for Colin. You were in on him early last year. I remember you placed the future. He had terrible form going into the Masters. I
that's
remember
true.
watching him at the Valero, and we talked on the preview show. I was like, dude, what I saw from Colin last week, there's no way he contends. Then he went and contended. So he certainly has the abilities to do it here.
He's a lot better form these days too. So yeah,
Literally what it comes down to for me, and trust me, I've been on the Colin ride many times as he's been on this win drought, and he's been so close for me many times. I thought about him this week. I just can't trust him enough in that Sunday round. Through Thursday through Saturday, he's amazing. Arguably the best player outside of Scotty and Rory on the PGA Tour in those opening 54 holes. But getting across the finish line has just been such a problem for him. It was enough to steer me off of Morikawa this week, but can't bet everyone at the top of the board.
I get it. I get it. You got to pick one. And if it's especially like between those four, the one guy that's the finisher, or not the finisher out of the group, is the guy I'm betting this week.
I do feel like you're going to have to bet Colin probably for life at the Masters, though. He's going to get one, but you're probably going to have to bet him for life. I'm pretty sure this is this is at least the third year in a row for you, Colin, at Augusta. But moving on,
double check that because I don't remember what his odds were the year that Rahm won. But yeah, it's got to be two of the last three for sure.
Moving down the odds board, though, we got Xander Schauffele, who's won two of the last three major championships at 18-1, although he's only got 4 starts this year coming off injury. Bryson's at 18, Ludwig's at 20, our boy Luddy F. Baby. Justin Thomas is at 25, and then Brooks Koepka is at 30. Sure you got your eyes in this range as well, Joey. Who's the guy for you, or the guys, I should say?
Nobody. So
no one. Wow, that's shocking me.
Yeah, no, I couldn't get more than like it's if I'm doing 16, 17-1, I wanted to go a little bit farther. I mean,
yeah, I get it.
Luddy though, our boy, second place in his first ever Masters last year, like that was really tempting to me. And there is a bet on Bet Rivers. I think that you can get either him or Morikawa to win at like plus 950, something like that. I don't remember exactly what it's at, but I'm considering betting that as well to get a little exposure to Ludwig, but also still have a little bit of extra cake on Morikawa as well. So I think that's probably the route that I'm going to take. I don't even know if that's smart because at that point it's like, okay, why not just bet another outright on Ludwig? But you know, I obviously that's probably my favorite out of this group outside of. I just hate the number. I mean, he popped up last year just killed it. 3 of the 4 majors last year, coming fresh off the Live Tour, and we don't get to see very often. But Bryson DeChambeau is, you know, he's got the distance. He can do pretty much anything he wants on difficult courses. I feel like this is, you know, the T6 at Augusta last year, second at the PGA Championship, won the U.S. Open, then the missed cut in the final one, final major. But I was looking at last week, and I know I haven't been watching Live because I just don't give a crap. And when you were talking earlier, I was just like pointing to myself, like, yeah, that's me not paying attention. But I was looking at last week at the Trump National Doral. It doesn't seem like an easy course.
No, Doral's it's a big boy golf course.
And Bryson finished 5th at 2 under there. And that said, I just feel like under 20-1 odds, I don't know if I could stomach it. Do I feel like it's a good bet for somebody to make? Absolutely. I would. That's outside of Ludwig. I actually think Bryson's probably my favorite in this range. But yeah, I bypassed the whole section. What do you think, man?
Yeah, Bryson actually had a 2-shot lead going into the final round at Doral.
Oh yeah, he shot 75 on that final round. What is he doing?
He did not have his best stuff in that final round. Like Bryson was there for the US Open win, was there for the runner-up that he had at the PGA Championship. The momentum that he had all started at Augusta last year when he had the first round lead, was I think the leader going into the weekend as well, but just didn't have his best stuff in those final 36 holes. I like Bryson. I think the soft conditions the first 2 days are going to work well for him. I just don't know if he can chip the ball. I don't know if he has the chipping abilities that are required around Augusta to win on this golf course. He hits the ball so far, and his numbers off the tee are like incredible so far this year. Like, he is striping the driver. He's going to hit it so well off the tee that I think he's probably a shoo-in for a top 20. Like, he drives the ball so well, he's going to be there. And the soft conditions early on probably puts him in a good position early to be in contention Saturday and Sunday. I don't think he has the well-rounded game to win at Augusta, man. He just doesn't strike me as a guy who with this style is going to win at the Masters. If it was 30 or 35 to 1, I'd definitely be more inclined and more intrigued to bet it. 20 to 1, I think it's kind of the oversteam from Bryson major season last year. He is the second live player. I had Bryson ranked second in my live rankings behind John Rahm, but Rahm was really the only one I thought about putting on my betting card this week.
It's funny, though, that you threw out the exact number that I had in my head was 30 to 1. And that's before I even looked at any odds. So what I did this week is I looked at only the top. Like, I clicked on it real quick, saw the top two. I said, yeah, that makes sense. Scotty and Rory. And I just refused to look at any other odds and just went through and looked at who I thought would be good for this tournament. So I started looking Bryson. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. Bryson. Saw the number and I'm like, if it's at 30 to 1, I'm betting it. Nothing under that. And I saw the number. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt as well. Ludwig, I think in a similar vein as Bryson, like, his ball striking off the tee is so good that he's going to be there come the weekend. He's not been chipping well at all this season, coming into Augusta, coming off a pair of missed cuts. How many times, too, do you see guys go like runner-up win or like runner-up T3 at the Masters? I think we're due for a little bit of a regression year from Ludwig personally. Not to say like he has the talent to win, but Bryson was the one I was looking at the most out of this range. But yeah, no bets for me, obviously, in this range either. Moving on down, we got Joaquin Niemann at 33, Never Tommy at 35, Hideki at 35, Shane Lowry and Spieth at 35 as well. And then Victor Hovland, Patrick Cantlay at 40, and Robert McIntyre at 50. Got any eyes on anyone in this range, Joey?
Yeah. So let me see here. Hideki was real interesting to me.
By the way, if you're trying to look at odds checker, it's down for me right now.
Oh, okay. Where were you reading them from? Sorry.
I'm just using FanDuel. I don't know if you were having that same issue. I was just bringing that up, but I was looking at odds checker and it completely pooped on me as I was reading them off. So I've just been using FanDuel's, but yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. That actually helps me a lot because I thought there was a couple names in there that you didn't mention that I was like, oh, okay. But that helps me kind of figure out where we're at here. But I do think as far as in this range, did you get to Cantlay and you need Bobby Mack? Yep. You did, right?
Yep.
So you went to 50?
Ended at Bobby Mack at 50. Yeah, from Joaquin and Never Tommy to Bobby Mack.
Yeah, I mean Hideki obviously draws a ton of interest for me with what he can do, especially around the green. I think, but yeah, man, I don't know. Like I couldn't get there. I'm really kind of an oddball this week because I like Shane Lowry too, and he's been incredible lately. But I absolutely hate that just about everyone is on him this week. It's a hard pass. I'm not on that train. Like I can't. The Shane Lowry chalk week is not in my blood. I can't stomach that.
Shane Lowry chalk is tough.
That's disgusting. Like, tough. Please throw me over a bridge.
It's like Tommy chalk. It's like what's going on here?
Sorry, I can't do that. I'll eat some Morikawa chalk. I'm not eating Shane Lowry chalk week at the Masters, let alone. But as far as the rest of this range, like obviously you got some big guns. I really do like two guys who they don't have major wins. Patrick Cantlay at 45-1, and I like Victor Hovland at 45-1.
Oh,
Both of those
interesting.
numbers, I think, just stand out to me as far as just pedigree and who they are. I'm looking, obviously Cantlay, his game is too good for the price to me, I think, but he's probably going to take his sweet ass time, annoy us all, and overthink everything. But I just got to believe in the irons. He's 8th in strokes gain approach over the last 24 rounds. I don't know if he's going to have the scrambling, if it'll be there, or the driving, or the putting, but we'll see. I mean, that's just me taking a shot on talent there. He's usually never really this price, I feel like. So Cantlay 45-1. Vic, same thing. I mean, dude, I'm sure you saw his presser the other day, but him
the dude literally acts like he's the most stoned guy in the world all the time. Like, you never know where the conversation is going.
Him comparing himself to like Eminem's final rap battle in 8 Mile.
And then he's talking about aliens, and then he's talking about his swing. You never know where this fucking guy's going. It's hilarious.
I have no idea either, but I fucking love it. Like, I'm sold. Like, it wasn't just that, but like the fact that he's like, I don't know. And he did make some good points too about like, sometimes if you have to admit that something you're scared of in order to get over it too. Like, I felt like that was a very real thing for him, being scared of where his game was, right? Because he kept saying, even after his win recently at Valspar, like he was talking on the mic afterwards, and he was saying like, basically like, I don't have my game right now. Like, I don't have my best game. It's like, dude, you just fucking won. And he doesn't have his best game probably, especially for him. But I don't know. He missed the cut at Augusta last year. He does have a T7 though the year prior. He around the green really scares me.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Victor hasn't gained strokes chipping this year.
It's nasty.
Nasty.
So he's going to have really good approach. I think like the yardage buckets that we're looking this week, the 175 to 225 yard range, he's really been good from there. He's also really good on hard courses too, difficult courses. So, again, it's a talent first price, and kind of because I like the craziness of Victor Hovland, to be honest. So yeah, those are my two guys right here. What do you got?
I understand it, and you brought up Shane Lowry first. Honestly, I kind of had like two cards in my mind this week. It was the if I do go to Rory card and if I don't go to Rory card. The if I don't go to Rory card probably had Jon Rahm and Shane Lowry on it. I was pretty. I still like Shane this week. Like, I think it's a good spot for Shane. He's playing really well.
He's on fire, man.
He's just such a loser. He's just such a fat loser, dude. But he'll probably finish T8, and he'll probably be in the final pairing come Saturday, because that's just how he and Tommy Fleet would go about business. But I couldn't end up getting there, especially since Rory was on the card. I don't like the Cantlay thing, to be quite honest. He was putting like shit last week.
I get it.
He was putting like, I watched him miss like 4 or 5 footers last week, and that's like not. If Pat Cantlay wants to win the Masters, he has to make every 5-footer. So that's my concern with Pat. I think the Victor one is a sneaky good call. I'm not going to get there because I'm not a brave enough man to have both Victor Hovland and Rory McIlroy on my betting card. But the upside with Vic is so undeniable that this guy doesn't know where his golf swing is, and he can still win PGA Tour events. And while it was the Valspar, it wasn't a signature event, there were still some decent guys in that field. And he had to go and birdie 2 of the last 3 holes in the Snake Pit, one of the most difficult 3-hole stretches on tour.
Yeah.
Vic has the goods, man. And the iron game has been really solid. The putting has not, but then he randomly gained 7.5 strokes at the Valspar. Does he do that again is kind of like my question, because while he has been a better chipper at major championships than he's been at non-majors in his career. I don't know whatever the reason is behind that. but he's going to have to gain like 6 to 7 strokes putting to hang. And that's the concern because the around the green,
especially with these greens,
it can't bail him out here. But what I will say talent wise, like there's nobody on Vic this year. And you could probably catch like some like I think that number could even get bigger by tomorrow morning. Cause I don't think anyone's running to the books betting Victor, even though he just came off a win.
No, they're not listening to me, what I'm saying. Cause if you're betting him because of the 8 Mile presser, which was not really the reason, but
you got to go have some spaghetti. You got to have mom's spaghetti if Victor wins. It's gonna be your Masters dinner.
Was he the one that got hurt?
Victor's too.
Making spaghetti or something? Who was the one that got hurt making spaghetti too?
No, Scotty got hurt.
Scotty. That's
Scotty
right.
got hurt cutting ravioli, but Victor's gotten hurt. I think he got sand in his eye before and had to withdraw. That's what I was thinking of.
The alien threw it at him.
Guy's an interesting character. I will also say I like Bobby Mack this week. I don't like the 50-1 price tag. I know there were some people who like 3 to 4 weeks ago got him at like 150. That would be a wicked price tag. He's got 4 top 11s in his last 5 worldwide starts. T6 at Waste Management. T9 at the Players, 2 wins last year, has the stones to show up in those type of moments. Don't hate Bobby Mack either. But moving on down into this next range, Joey, let's go from 55 to 80, and then we'll go 80 in long shots after that. But this 55 to 80 pocket, we got Cam Smith, Russell Henley, Hollywood Henley, baby, who got his big-time win at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, which I was in attendance for. And let me tell you, Joey, people did not give a fuck that Russell Henley won that golf tournament. Most people were like, who? He's 55 to 1. Min Woo's 55. Tyrrell Atten is 55 to 1. My boy Corey Connors is 60. Willie Z is 60. And then we got Sergio Garcia in the septic tank. Our boy Sepp Straka at 75 to 1. Where's the interest for you in this range?
Yeah. So far I have nobody, but I'm very intrigued by Corey Connors, your boy. I think, man, he's been on fire lately. You look at the irons, they've been great. But, dude, I still go back to the reason why I'm holding off here, and it is your boy, so I want to hear what you think about him this week. But the only PGA Tour tournament that he's won ever is the Valero Texas Open. Twice. So, come on. I don't know what to do, like, at a Masters. Like, what am I doing betting Corey Connors at the Masters? So that's what I ultimately go back to. Before I tell you the rest of mine, what are your thoughts on Corey this week?
I'm on him. I'm on
okay.
him. I'm on him at 65 to 1. My boy, he's playing too good to ignore. Does he probably finish T9? Yeah. But
you can't miss it.
He's playing some G. He's playing some G right now. And it's not just like the ball striking in Florida and in Texas at Valero like we usually see from Corey Connors at this time of the year. The guy just loves the Florida swing in the Valero. Like, that is his happy place. But the Masters has quietly been his happy place as well, Joey. This guy's got 3 top 10s at the Masters in his career. He also finished T9 at last year's U.S. Open and was also in the final pairing with Brooks Koepka at the 2023 PGA Championship. So Corey Connors, whenever the conditions get tough, that's when Corey Connors is at his best. And no surprise that he's entering this tournament with great form once again, but it's still different form than he's ever been in. The off the tee, the ball striking, the approach, we know that's Corey Connors' jam. But the around the green and the putting, Joey, that's what got me in. That's what got me in. He's gained around the green in 5 consecutive starts. All 5 have been top 25 finishes. He was 3rd at the Arnold Palmer, T6 at the Players, T8 at the Valspar. And 4 of those gains have been for at least a stroke. And then with the putter too, Joey, 4 of his last 5 have been gains. All of those 4 have been for at least 1.3 strokes. Gained 3 at the Players, 2.8 at API, 3.1 at the Genesis. Like, Corey Connors never putts like that. And now that he is in combination with the ball striking, like, yeah, I'm in on my boy 65 to 1. Do I worry that he's only won the Valero Texas Open in his career? Absolutely. Absolutely. But 65 to 1, I think, is a really good number for one of the best ball strikers in the world. And now he can actually chip. I'll take my chances at 65. You
might have just talked me into a bet. And I hate it because why am I listening to the Corey Connors guy? Because
yeah,
all the
probably
reasons
not the best.
No, all the reasons though that you said though, like the putting, the chipping, like everything that he's doing right now, I think it's going to be super important this week, and the career track record at Augusta too. So I why not? That's a long enough number for me to get to with the way my card's shaping out. I'll do it. I'll ride with you.
I love to hear that. I got a lot of interest in this range. I got one other bet on my card from this range as well. Technically not in this range because I bet it as a future. It's the only future I've made on this year's Masters. It was Will Zalatoris on Christmas Eve, Joey. I bet him at 80-1 on DraftKings, now down to 60. I wish he would have contended.
Right there.
I wish he would have contended at least once or twice. His best finish this year is a T12, but he hasn't missed a cut. He's got 5 top 30 finishes in those 7 starts, and the ball striking numbers have been really good. Zalatoris is 5th in my model this week. He has 3 top 10s in 3 starts at Augusta, and really the short game that's given him problems and usually gives him issues has been fine here at Augusta. He's gained around the greens in 2 of the 3 years he's played here, gained with the putter in 2 of the 3 years, and both times he's gained has been for over 5 strokes. And we know what he does off the tee. As I mentioned, the irons are in really good form coming in. I'm not mad at myself for making that future whatsoever. Even though he doesn't have a top 10 on the season, I think it's a long shot for him to win, but he's got some of the best history of anyone around this place. And we know he loves majors.
No, and we know he loves difficult courses. So I really like that bet a lot with Willie Z. I think this is just a resurgent year for him. It could start this week. I like it a lot. That was the other guy that I was really interested here.
And one thing I will add as well, from another show that I listened to, good things coming from the Will Zalatoris camp. Like they're firm believers that he's on the right track and trending in the right direction, which I love to hear from his camp. So definitely think you could do worse than Willie Z from down here on the odds board. I personally don't see Russell Henley winning the Masters, but I wouldn't blame anyone for going to him at 55-1 now that he actually does have a big boy win on his resume. I think Sepp Straka is a really good value bet as well. 75-1. I don't think, as I wrote up in my article this week, I don't think he has the short game to hang around here and actually win, but I think he's primed for a top 10, top 15 finish. Like Sepp's tee to green game has been awesome all season long, and honestly, like 75-1, that it might be one of the best values on the entire board in terms of like guys who can actually win. Like Sepp's a Ryder Cupper. Sepp's a damn good player. 75-1 is a good number.
That's sneaky. He's probably a really good DFS value too.
Yeah, I would say so as well. I'm playing him in a lot of pools and a couple of parlays that I got Sepp Straka in as well. But moving down, Joey, we'll go 80 and up, we'll just say, because at this point we're getting to the longer shots, right? We've talked about how, long shots really never win the Masters. Even the year that Danny Willett won a decade ago now, or a little, was it 2016? Yeah, I think it was 2016. Can't remember exactly the year, but regardless, he was still even like 60-1 coming into the tournament. You usually don't get many guys from down here putting on the green jacket, but is there anyone from outside 100 in particular who's catching your interest as a long shot, Joey?
2 of them.
Okay.
Outside of 100. Oh, I'll just mention the one because I'm not sure if I'm going to do it, but tremendous Augusta track record with Justin Rose.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's always going to be somebody who, despite whatever he's doing, he comes into Augusta and he can just kind of veteran his way through this course. So I really think Justin Rose is probably going to at least flash this week. Like a top 20 for him, I think is going to be a prop bet for me. Daniel Berger, 130-1 is where I grabbed him at. Anytime I can get someone to like someone inside my top 10 in my model at 100-1 odds or greater, I have to strongly take a look at it. Like I have to. Berger's last couple of trips to Augusta were horrific, but
It's been a while.
Been here. Yeah, he hasn't been here in a while, and I really think he's getting his game back on track, similar to Willie Z, to where he used to be. And he's been really good on par fours and fast greens. He's third in total driving over the last 24 rounds. He lost strokes off the tee at the Players Championship, but I don't know, man. Maybe I still have the waste management like T2 stuck in my head, but I really think he's in play this week, and 130-1 is that's damn good odds, I think, for somebody like him.
Yeah, I completely agree. Daniel Berger is playing fantastic golf. I think he might be a better like top 10 or top 20 bet. I don't know if he's ready to win the green jacket. I think he's still a little too early in his return, but like the price is very, very sharp for a guy who's a former top 10 player in the world and trending towards becoming that guy once again. Like he's definitely someone that stood out to me in the odds board. One guy who really jumped out to me, and honestly, I didn't even know his odds were this big, and it's kind of shame on me. I just saw it now. Harris English is 200-1.
Ooh.
That's insane.
What's his Augusta track record? I didn't look at it.
It's not that great. He's never finished in the top 20. However, he has come T21 and T22, and he's made the cut in 4 or 5 years. Regularly gains around the green and with the putter. His off the tee game's really good right now. His irons were really good up until the Houston Open last time, but even dropping 4.5 strokes with his irons, he finished T18 in that tournament. Won at the Farmers earlier this year. Good U.S. Open player. 200-1 feels crazy for Harris English.
That's a little
Denny
too
McCarthy
much.
and Cameron Young are 100. I love Michael Kim. There's no way Michael Kim should be favored to win Augusta over Harris English. That's crazy.
I mean, Denny Mac is just like, he's kind of like, he's another Tommy Fleetwood.
But broker. He can't hit the ball far. He can't hit the ball far.
The only thing he can do is putt the lights out, which might really help him this week, but
I think he can make the cut.
Yeah, that's about it, probably.
Yeah, from far down the odds board, though, Harris is the one that really jumped out to me. I did like the Daniel Berger number. That was really it for me, though, man.
What are your thoughts on a guy that's really been really good with approach with the irons lately, JJ Spawn?
I like JJ first round leader. No shot he wins the fucking green jacket.
Like, I doubt
zero.
I'm just curious because I feel like
he could hang. He could hang. JJ's having an excellent season. I did bet him at. I think I bet him. Did I bet him last week at Valero? Did I bet him at Houston? I bet him at Houston. I believe he missed the cut, but I actually think that's okay. I want people off JJ. I think JJ is a good play this week. I don't think you can bet him to win though.
Yeah, I don't really think he has a real shot either, but I think maybe the prop market. I'm sure the head-to-heads, dude. We have so many head-to-heads this week that you can pick from. Like,
I watched JJ, and I unfortunately had money on him. I watched him shit down his leg, having a one-shot lead on 17 at the Sony Open. So I can only imagine what he'd do in contention at Augusta, especially after watching him fly number 17 in the playoff at 8 a.m. on Monday morning with Rory McIlroy at the Players Championship. I can't trust JJ if he happens to be in contention down the stretch. I think he can get to that point, though. I think he finishes T15.
Well, top 10 would be a hell of a payout, too.
It's also not his debut here because he, of course, won the 2022 Valero Texas Open the week before the Masters to get into Augusta. So I do like that about JJ as well. This is not his first time here, the bright lights and everything. Like, kind of has some familiarity with the course.
What is it with the Valero Texas Open winners that we kind of are looking at this week between him and Corey Connors?
I mean, it can play like a tough golf course. When the winds get howling and you see that at Augusta, becomes a real tough tee to green test where it's just hard to hit these greens and you got to scramble. I think there's something between similarities and how to go about winning those two tournaments.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't have any correlation in my head. So
both are iron courses too. Valero's a big iron course.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I got lots of props already in, my man. You said you got nothing in.
I have nothing. I mean, we kind of talked through one with Justin Rose right there. I like the top 20 already, but I'm interested to hear what you have. And then, if you wanted to kind of go over a couple of them, then yeah, let's do it.
I'm totally down. And I've tweeted out a couple of these already. I have some first round leader plays in as well, but a couple more I want to talk through with you before I put those out there and finalize them. I have a monster. Actually, I'll save that for last. So I got a top 20 parlay right now, 3-legger. Keegan, top 20. Denny, top 20. Kevin, you top 20. $3 to win 200. I don't know if I advocate giving that out to anyone. I just thought that was good odds. But I have a serious top 20 parlay as well. 3 to win 100. That's John Rahm, Shane Lowry, top 20, Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, and Sepp Straka. 3 to win 100 is that 5-legger. That's like my serious one. Rahm, Lowry, Fleetwood, Henley, Straka. I like all 5 of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like that too. I think that's the one that might kill you is probably going to be it's not going to be Fleetwood. Fleetwood's notorious for a nice little top 20, top 10. Like that's,
he's going to shoot like 64 or 65 on Saturday or Sunday when he's a million strokes back to finish somewhere in there.
100%. Yeah.
First round leader, I got Mathieu Pavon, 140 to 1. I got Tom Hoagie, your boy, Mr. Hoagie Buns, who, by the way, absolutely fucked me at Valero last week. He shot like 77 in the final grouping. Didn't press the weasel Brian Harmon whatsoever, which really pissed me off. I got Hoagie Buns, though. I believe he's been first round leader 3 times already this year. So 110 to 1 is where I got him. I also have, the heck? There it is. I got Sungjae Im, 70 to 1, first round leader. And then you mentioned Justin Rose. I got him first round leader as well. I believe this is my 3rd year or maybe even 4th year in a row betting Justin Rose first round leader here. All of them to win about 300. Sungjae, Rosie, Hoagie, and Mathieu Pavon. I probably want to get a serious guy in their first round leader as well. Probably someone with a little less odds, but I got things spread out all over the place, dude. I got a big to make the cut parlay. I got a big to miss the cut parlay. I got lots of things going on.
Yeah, that's a hell of a card for the first round leader right there. Mathieu Pavon. Mathieu Pavon has royally fucked me in the past. So
what do you do to you?
Well, maybe I didn't put much money on him. I shouldn't say that. I didn't put much money on him. I think I did a first round leader and an outright at a tournament just recently. But no,
wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be, but you got some good odds there too, especially with the first round leaders. I like the Justin Rose call, of course. Sungjae, some guys we didn't really talk about too. So, yeah, well, I'm kind of curious what this made cut parlay is.
The made cut parlay is a big boy. It is a big boy, but what you need to remember,
a lot of favorites with it,
pretty decent amount, yes. But what you got to remember about the Masters. It's a 95-player field because Vijay Singh withdrew. Top 50 in ties make the cut. That ties, though, can get it to maybe like 60, 62, 63, depending on, however many guys hit that number. And last year was one of those years. I believe Justin Thomas bogeyed his final hole on Friday, and a bunch of guys got in. I think like 66 guys made the cut last year. Year, I think it was 89. So last year, only like 24 guys missed the cut. And you got to remember, there's a fuck ton of old balls. There's the amateurs, and then there's the debutants as well. So there's some guys you can cross off there. Make the cut parlays at the Masters, I think, are the best ones. But there's a lot of names in here, Joey. This is a 19-legger. But it's $3 to win a rack. It's Hideki, Lowry, Xander, Neiman, Fleetwood, Spieth, Cantlay, Brooks, Henley, Connors, Willie Z, Bobby Mack, Sergio, Straka, Patrick Reed, Philly Mick, Denny McCarthy, JJ Spawn, Lucas Glover, and Harris English.
All guys that should.
$3 to win 1,000. The ones that concern me the most, I would say Glover, although I think he's an excellent course fit for how he's been playing recently. Denny scares me a little bit. And Sergio. Sergio's been playing good golf, but he's only made the cut at the Masters once in the last 5 years. Those are the ones that I'm really sweating.
Did you mention Glover as one of your first round leaders?
No, but I could get there. It doesn't take much for me to get on my boy the glove.
I was gonna say, man, that would actually be a really good first round leader too, or first round.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he hung here last year. Let me find it. I'm pretty sure he hung around here last year. He just doesn't hit the ball far is the problem.
Yeah,
Like
well,
he has to hit his irons so fucking well, and I think he did last year. I was
same
like,
goes for Denny Mack, which is why you're probably really worried about him too. But
I just know he can scramble like a motherfucker, dude. And he hits the ball longer than people think.
who?
Denny.
Denny?
Yeah, Denny hits the ball a little bit longer than people think. He's not like long by any means, but he's not like he's not Lucas Glover, who's 45 and hits the ball nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just doesn't have distance at all for Lucas.
Lucas's page isn't loading right now for me, which is there we go. What did he finish at the Masters last year? Stupid Rick Run Good won't load, but I also have a there we go.
Denny's hitting the ball further than Corey Connors right now. So and
Corey Connors does not hit the ball very far.
And Sepp and Tommy Fleetwood. So
Sepp doesn't hit the ball very far either.
But I mean, Tommy Fleetwood, I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, Tommy's not a distance guy. He's just a accurate driver.
He's that's true. Well, your boy right here too, or our boy, not even your boy. It's maybe even more so my boy. Max Homa's driver's completely lost.
He's so bad. Legitimately so bad. He's a Corn Ferry Tour player.
That's sad.
It is sad.
Because I would have liked to jump on like a major Max Homa bet if he was locked in. But
he hasn't been locked in literally since he finished T3 here last year. It's been all shit for him ever since.
Yeah, there's no shot. Somebody will see that though and go, "Oh, maybe Max Homa." The guys that aren't really like paying attention on a week to week. But yeah.
So there are definitely gonna be people mistakenly putting bets out on Max Homa. I also got a missed the cut parlay as well. Got Nick
You're probably getting some decent plus money on most of those, right?
This is $1 to win 1,100, brother.
Oh yeah,
and it's an 8-legger, and I like this. Legit might be my favorite bet of the week. I think this one can hit. Nick Dunlap -200. You want to talk about guys who can't hit the driver right now? He makes Max Homa look like he's Bryson DeChambeau. Nick Dunlap cannot hit a driver right now to save his life. That's a problem around Augusta. Bubba Watson -138 hasn't been good. He doesn't have a top 10 finish on Live since 2023. Max Grazerman, first appearance at the Masters. Sam Burns has been god-awful this year. Billy Horschel does not have a good Masters track record. Cameron Smith has a good Masters history, but is such an unserious ball striker. I have to take him to miss the cut. He hasn't gained strokes off the tee this year on Live, and has gained strokes with his irons once in 5 starts. So unserious. Cam Smith +225 to miss the cut. Then I got Tyrrell Hatton +240 to miss the cut as well, along with guy who won us some good money last year, the week before the Masters, Akshay +225.
Oh.
I don't like Akshay's form right now.
I would hate that though, because I really want to see him do well, even though I'm not betting him really. But
I do well, and I love Akshay, and I think he has the talent to win this bad boy one day. Same
goes for Cam Smith. I like Cam. I got a sentimental spot in my heart for Cam Smith too.
Fuck that guy forever. not even kidding. No, legitimately, we're doing this right now. I think he's one of my top. Yeah, I'll keep it brief.
No, go ahead.
He's one of my top 2 most hated professional golfers. I'll give you a hot take. I don't think Cam Smith's that good at all. I think he luck boxed his way into an Open Championship. And this could be a hot take, but I've never seen a guy who hits the ball worse win big tournaments. And I'll give him credit for, I guess, being the best putter in the world. I still don't even and this might sound wild. Again, to me, it's a little hard for me to even call that a skill, which is that weird. Which
You're
is
so salty.
I'm not even that salty. I just think he is not that good at all.
He's not now.
He happens to put the ball in the fucking hole from 40 feet. He's better at that than anyone else. And I'll give him credit for that. But I don't know how you can feel confident in a guy who has to do that every single time to do anything. He's such a luck box fucking guy.
You know what you need to do right now? Take all of those comments that you said at the beginning of the show about approach putt performance and your model and throw them out the window and redo your model.
Why?
because you're talking about putting the ball in the hole.
Approach putt. See, and this is perfect. Would be my perfect argument. Approach putt performance is how close you get the ball to the hole on your first putt. That's, I think, a fucking skill. And there is a skill to putting ball in the hole.
Well,
No doubt
Cam
about
probably
it. But I think there's
puts it
also
pretty close.
I think there's also a little luck that goes into it. Like chipping in as many times as Cam Smith chips in. Yes, it's a skill to have. It's a skill to have
more
that.
Lucky though. Yeah.
It's a skill to have that good of a short game, and it's a skill to have that good of a feel. But part of it is also luck for it to go in.
To make up the strokes via putting in the chips. I agree that's pretty lucky. You can be a really good chipper, and to actually put it in the hole compared to like putting it close to the. I do agree. I do agree with that. That's pretty lucky, but I am not going to sit here and feel bad about my nice win from the majors from Cam Smith.
Fuck Cam Smith.
You can't get me to do it. I won't.
If he wins this week, I'll quit betting the sport. If he wins this week,
I'm not betting him this week. So
if he wins, I'll quit betting the sport. This sport's officially over in my life if Cameron Smith puts on the green jacket, because that means you can fucking win the Masters being an unserious ball striker, and I need to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing betting on this fucking shit?
Or better yet, what are we doing not doing well golfing compared to this guy?
Yeah, why can't I put it in the hole from fucking 40 feet every single time? But are there guys in particular you're like looking at towards for like matchups or player props in particular? Like,
yeah, kind of. I guess let's take a quick look here. I do think that there's some that I can't get to, because it's like I was looking at Lowry against Fleetwood, but I feel like the floor play is Fleetwood, so I think that's a tricky one there. You know what I mean?
Lowry against Fleetwood. That is, oh my God. It's the Spider-Man fucking meme between two absolute jabroni Europeaners. Literally, who the fuck cares? They're going to both be tied for 8th.
Well, probably. But, yeah. So, the other one, we'll just skip that one. JJ Spawn.
That one, how do you pick that one, though? How do you
pick between
Lowry and Fleetwood, though?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, my instinct at first was like, oh, well, Lowry, because I really like him going in the tournament. But then on the second thought is who has the best chance of getting top 20 or top 10 and not winning? And it's probably Tommy Fleetwood. So I don't know how to pick that one.
Yeah, I don't either.
The other one, though, that I actually do really like, I think, is JJ Spawn over Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
That is minus 125, and you might be able to get a better price out there, but I really think that that's a good look there. And I'm probably going to bet that.
Dude, Matt Fitzpatrick sucks at golf.
He's been awful.
Have you looked at his profile?
Barely, but I don't need to look too far into it because I know he's been bad.
He's legitimately bad at golf.
Yeah, we can confidently say
I love
Spawn's
JJ
in
Spawn.
a good position too.
I love JJ Spawn in that matchup.
Yeah, let's do it. Who's the other one here? So Minwoo Lee against Corey Connors. It's minus 110 either way, but I thought that was a pretty good look for Connors, but I also think that he could be kind of a boomer bust sort of guy at times. So
4-round tournament, I trust Connors. Minwoo's gonna have one round where he shoots like 4 or 5 under, and then he'll probably have one round where he shoots like 77. Like he's gonna have one round where he loses the golf ball. Yeah. He almost did it at the Houston Open, and that's the most wide open golf course on the tour.
Yeah.
Did you see that, by the way? We haven't talked since then. I have not seen it. I cashed Minwoo that week. 4-shot lead with 5 holes to go, Joey. Puts it in the drink on 16. I'm not kidding. He hit it in the water like 50 yards. Like 50 yards into the water. He hit it like 100 yards, right? Made bogey on the easiest hole on the course. Now is only up by 1 with 2 holes to play, and guess who's in second place? Fucking Scotty Scheffler. I was shitting down my leg. But for the second year in a row, we get a 1-shot win over the Boogeyman. Get a 1-shot win over the Boogeyman in Houston. Shout out Minwoo. I do not trust him over 4 rounds. I trust Connors over 4 rounds.
Yeah. I guess that's a good point too. But he's not in bad form though, for the most part, for Minwoo. So that's another thing that's kind of a tough matchup, I think. Let me see here. If you think Akshay's missing the cut, this could be a good look for you, or possibly missing the cut. this could be a good look for you. Hovland is minus 135 against Akshay.
I don't trust either of those guys. I'd rather just bet Victor outright. Like, just give me the ceiling on Vic. Just give me the ceiling.
That's what I'm doing, but
I don't blame you for that. Really good number.
Yeah, so maybe
honestly, Joey, you should bet Vic first round leader. If you're gonna bet Vic outright, you should bet Vic.
He's gonna come out swinging, right? Like,
I think if you're gonna bet him outright, you should bet him first round leader too.
What's his first? I want to see what that is. I don't even know.
I can find it real quick for you. Victor Hovland. I actually have it pulled up. He's 35-1 is what I see.
Yeah, that's still reasonable.
Yeah, I don't know if he tees off in the morning or afternoon, but I actually don't think it really matters all that much tomorrow. I think the scoring conditions tomorrow, he tees off at noon. I would have preferred the morning, but I think tomorrow is going to be the easiest scoring day for sure on both sides of the weather draw.
Mm-hmm. This is probably, I haven't actually seen this on a book yet. I'm looking at some odds on an offshore, or kind of like one of those where they just look at all the different odds. There's Mr. Septic Tank versus DJ. But he's minus 179 and then he's minus 118. I don't know where it's actually at. If it's minus 179, the only way I would do that is if you're adding it to something else.
Yeah.
But I do think I like Sep way more than I like DJ this week. So if that's available.
I do as well. I definitely like Sep more than DJ. DJ's been popping, but his bad rounds have still been really fucking bad.
Yeah, and what has he really shown on when he comes over to the majors? Like,
you know what he's shown? That he has an absolute rocket of a wife. That's what he's shown.
Well, thanks for showing us that, but
and I gladly
I do appreciate it
every single time.
I do appreciate that.
I'll tell you what, if I had DJ's life, I would not give a fuck about golf either.
I think that's where he's at, honestly. He just that's fine. I mean, some guys just have it made, you know.
Yeah,
but
it's the way it is.
Let's see here. I'll probably just name like one more because we don't need to go down the whole list here. But let's see. What's another one that stands out? There's you would like this one. I'm not going to do it. Hideki versus Cantlay. Minus 105 for Hideki. You might
trust
like
either of them. I don't trust Hideki, but I never know what to do with that guy. So he's so frustrating to me. I can never put my finger on him.
He's pretty frustrating. Yeah, not gonna lie. He's, especially every time I feel like we bet him, it's
never
not
goes
good.
My way. Never goes my way. And
we're not betting it outright.
And then the next year at the same event that I bet him on the year prior, he'll go and win, or then he'll win the next week after I bet him. It's the story of me and Hideki. It's a tale as old as time.
Yep. I've had some of that luck this year too, by the way, where I'm on the guy the week before, and then he wins, or he gets like T2 next week, or something fucking stupid. And I'm like, not necessarily with Hideki, but that's kind of been my story this year. I started out pretty good, and now it's like, okay, let's pick it up again.
Yeah, the first annoying one for me, the first annoying one for me was Nick Taylor chipping in for Eagle on 18 and stealing my money, the second event of the year. But I had Brian Harmon a couple of times this season, and the only reason I did not bet him last week at the Valero, I literally saw his odds 80-90-1. I'm like, those are pretty good odds for Harmon. Pulled up his Rick Rungood profile at the Players. He was fucking abysmal, dude. Lost like 4.5 strokes combined ball striking. I was like, oh, no way Brian Harmon's winning coming off of that. Asshole. Hate that guy.
Yeah, he's a weasel.
He is a weasel.
There's a reason why. Yeah, there's a reason why that nickname has never left him.
And he weaseled himself to victory last weekend too. He played horrible on Saturday and Sunday, but he weaseled his way to enough pars to win. That scumbag.
Yeah, fuck him.
You did you look at any like top debutantes or
I have
top nationalities or anything?
I will though take a quick little look if you want.
I mixed a couple of parlays between the two because I'm a sicko. I took Nico Echeverria, top debutant, and parlayed that with Kevin Yu, top Asian. It's 134-1.
Ooh, okay.
And I also took your boy Thomas Dietrich, top debutant, and Jason Day, your other boy. This has you written all over it. The Tommy Dietz, top debutant, Jason Day, top Oceania, 37-1.
I love that.
I'm
That's
in.
yeah. I'm tailing you on that.
I have it already posted, so
Where'd you
you'll
bet
be
that at?
Bet365, which I don't know
Okay.
if you have that yet.
I don't even have that account yet.
They launched in Illinois like 3 weeks ago. I'm actually the reason I got a bunch of these props in is because they gave me $150 in bonus bets
Ooh,
for
okay.
their launch in Illinois. So you should see if you got the
Can I
same
get
thing.
on that?
Yeah, maybe you could have look at your eyes just light up.
I mean,
This is
$150 in bonus bets, dude. You won't miss me with that.
true sicko stuff coming your way at 9:30 p.m. Central Time, ladies and gentlemen. But
I might
definitely
have
go and
some
check
dinger
that out.
pick parlays coming along with Masters too, if that's the case.
You said the Masters, it's golf Super Bowl. And when it was the actual Super Bowl and we had waste management that week, we did a little bit of cross sport parlay action. Too bad our boy Brant Snedeker couldn't pull out that top 40 for us, or else we would have been sitting real pretty. But I'll probably have a couple more wonky parlays before it's all said and done.
You know, it would be fun. I don't know. I have not been paying like a bunch of attention to NASCAR, but
Oh shit.
dude, NASCAR's odds are very similar
It's like
to
golf.
Yeah. It's like you're betting on futures every single week. And like I did kind of get into it for a little bit a few years ago. And I kind of want to get back into it a little bit because sometimes it's pretty predictable too.
What race we got this weekend? Talk to
Oh
me.
yeah, let's see. We got the Food City 500, which I could not tell you where that's at. But there's some decent little numbers here. So if we want to like parlay a tourney winner with the NASCAR winner,
I'm doing it right now. Am I logged in?
That could be pretty fun.
I am logged in. I'm gonna parlay Kyle Busch.
Okay.
He's got
Where's he at?
A lot of my boys call me Bush. I got to take Kyle Busch just out of
Ooh, he's
principle.
30-1 too, so you could get some pretty sick if you did him with Rory or something.
We're doing it. I'm parlaying him with Rory at 200-1.
Let's go.
Catch me watching this fucking food, whatever it's called, on Sunday afternoon.
Sorry, I apologize. That's bad podcasting, but
you're good.
That's no, that's actually a legit fun one to do. That's Super Bowl stuff right there. What
five
else
to win 1,000. Go Kyle Busch and Rory.
Oh, dude, if you hit that, you need to post that immediately and do like a weird YouTube video of you just running around your house with your you better save the bag from your tradition of what you're gonna do tomorrow morning going to Mickey D's. You need to save the bag.
I'll hang up the receipt.
Hang the receipt, but before you hang the receipt, run around your house with the bag of Mickey D's and the receipt. Take a video of it. Just fucking celebrate. That's your victory lap.
You know what I'm also doing? I'm parlaying Harris English with Denny Hamlin to win. Denny Hamlin's the second favorite. This is how I'm getting my Harris English exposure this week.
Love it.
This is 1,100-1 here.
That's not a bad Justin Rose idea, I feel like, for me.
Yeah, Harris English, Denny Hamlin. 1 to win a rack. No, I'll go $2 to win 2. We're talking Harris English 200-1. We'll throw $2.
This is how you know also that you're having a really good year in golf this year, because you're just like, I got some dollars to play with. I'm just waiting for them.
I do. Now. It's been a good year. Keeping track of the units. I post them on my picture every single week. I think I'm at 13.5 units bet. 25 units returned on the year. Nearly doubled my money so far.
Yeah,
it's been solid. To get 3 already before the Masters is like, holy shit. That is so nice. The early part of the season has really given me fits these last couple of years. So to already have 3 under the belt, like, it has me feeling really good.
Yeah, no, this is usually when you start finding your own. So
yeah, this is when we start getting going. We got this. We got the RBC Heritage next week.
Yeah,
Time
man.
of the year, my man.
I was gonna say next week I don't know about a show, but
we'll figure it out.
We're gonna be having a lot more shows now that we're in the swing of this.
Definitely, my man. Definitely, my man. I want to leave you. I want to leave you with one more thing. I know we're already running long, and I know you're feeling like crap. I appreciate you powering through, but I want to give this to you for your own sake. I take in a lot of information every single week, Joey. I've seen multiple different people give out multiple different winning and top 5 trends over the last 7, 13, however many years. I wrote them all down on a sheet and all the players who fit those trends. Last thing I'm going to leave you and the audience with. So 7 of the last 7 winners have achieved all of these things. They've been, or have, I guess, all of these on their resume going into the Masters. Currently top 30 in the official world golf ranking, have finished inside the top 15 in one of the last 2 major championships, have a major top 5 under their belt, have a top 5 on the season already, have a previous top 25 at Augusta, are currently top 25 in strokes gained tee to green, and also top 50 in approach and around the green. There are 5 players who fit that trend. Those 5, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, Russell Henley, Shane Lowry, Hideki Matsuyama. Another trend. 13 of the last 13 winners have gained 18 or more strokes gained tee to green in their 4 previous starts before the Masters. 15 guys fit that list. From the first list, it's Kawa, Rory, and Henley are the 3 who are on the second one. Decky and Lowry are not. Or Lowry is on this list as well. Decky's the only one who's not. So those 4 make both lists. On the second list as well is Scheffler, Connors, JJ Spawn, Sepp Straka, Aaron Rai, Bryson DeChambeau, Will Zalatoris, Bobby Mack, Kevin Yu, Sergio Garcia, and Lucas Glover. So some names to keep in mind from tee to green and that have those accomplishments. And then in the top 5 trend, sorry, go ahead.
No. I want to hear the rest of this because I was just wondering who the ones that have continued on the second list you said were the only one that didn't was Hideki?
The only one who wasn't on that second list was Hideki.
Okay, go ahead.
The third list is a top 5 trend. The last 2 were winning trends. This is a top 5 trend. Top 10, last 8 starts, have a top 10 finish in the last 8 PGA Tour starts in Georgia. Our top 10 in putting over the last 2 months, have a top 10 in the last 5 Masters, and our top 10 in strokes gained par 4s going into the Masters. There's 7 who make this list. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Patrick Cantlay, Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas. Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, Russell Henley are the only 3 players that fit all of those trends that I just went through.
Love it. Are the models loving him?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't think I can trust him to win, but
you know what I love most about that?
Saying he can.
You know what? First of all, hell of a job on your part going through or digging that up or reading all that off because that's some serious research right there too. But I also love the fact that both of our top guys this week, both of them. I mean, you got Rory, I got Colin, and they're both on all 3 of those lists. So it makes me feel really, really good about our process. And I feel like one of the 2 are probably winning this week.
I like our chances, my friend. I like our chances that one of us is coming away with a Masters ticket. Maybe it's both of us if you decide to ride on my boy Corey Connors with me.
I'm riding the Corey Connors one. I'm definitely doing that.
Although the tough part was Corey Connors' name was only on one of those trends lists.
Yeah.
He does have 18 strokes tee to green in his last 4 starts. Also
doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to continue. So, we've seen crazier things in sports, let alone golf, happen. So those lists are lists that are awesome, but hey, Corey Connors at a great number. Why not? You still got to take a stab and get some more butts in.
Yeah, they're trends for a reason. I really don't pay too much attention to them in any other tournament, but the Masters, just with this style of course and the knowledge and the experience, and again, just finding ways to cross more guys off is just a very helpful tool in my process. So that's ultimately how I ended up with Rory, man. Just everything kept pointing me towards Rory, the uptick and around the green and putting, the 2 wins already this season, fitting all those trends, the iron play, the driver being dominant. If it was any other golf course besides, if it wasn't even called Augusta and Rory wasn't looking for the career Grand Slam,
it's a slam dunk.
I think it's a slam dunk.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. For his sake and for yours. If I'm not going to win, then I hope that it's a good. I hope he does it this week. Or this year, because he deserves it. And yeah, it would be awesome to see him get that grand slam. Like, it really would.
It would be nice to also just put it to bed too. Like, just put that conversation to bed. He's got the career grand slam. No more worries for him. And that's kind of all he needs to check off at this point, right?
Yeah. What else do you have to do? Now you can go be Dustin Johnson if you want.
Yeah, literally. Then you can just fuck off and ride off into the sunset.
Just go fuck your girl and just call it a career if you really want.
Very nice. Well, I couldn't be more excited for the Masters to get underway tomorrow morning. Couldn't be more excited to bash that sausage McMuffin with egg at approximately 6 o'clock in the morning. Joey, for any more of the final bets or props that I put out, I'll make sure to pump it out there on X, so anyone who's interested can tail along with that as well. But just wanted to say thank you, Joey, for powering through. I know you're not feeling the best, but it's Masters week. We got to get the job done.
Hey man, I appreciate it, but I wasn't missing this week, and this is it's kind of just like a yearly thing at this point. Like, after the first weekend of Cubs and leading into this, it's our opening day weekend for that. I kind of feel like I know I'm gonna feel like shit the next week, but like, fuck it. I already feel better because I know that the Masters are this week and starting tomorrow. So yeah, no, this is awesome. We're not missing. We can't miss. We're going to hit a bet this week too.
It's basically like it's already the weekend tomorrow.
That's right. For you, it is basically, right?
I do got to work on Friday, but tomorrow it's just going to be me, myself, and I in the golf, and it is going to be lovely. But thank you for powering through, Joey. Thank you to everyone who tuned in all the way up until the end on this Final Bets edition of Golf on Tap. Quick reminder to go and follow the show wherever you listen to your podcasts. 100% free. You can catch up on all the latest shows. That way, even if you're not able to join us live, and make sure to go and check out ontapsportsnet.com as well. We'll be having great Masters content coming out all week long. If you're still wanting to get any late Masters content at this point, I got a PGA Tour top 25 rankings. I got a Live Golf piece coming out on ranking the top 12, course breakdown, my final bets, lots of good stuff, even more coming throughout the week. So make sure to go and check that out at ontapsportsnet.com. Joey, any final thoughts before we get on out of here, my man?
Only final thought I have is shout out to you and shout out to the guys for the amount of work that you guys put in this week for the Masters, and just all the content, like you said, just to double up on the promotion for ontapsportsnet.com. I think there's, when as far as golf content goes, right up there with the best of them, and just putting that hard work in. Yeah, it's like a Super Bowl week, so like everybody, and even outlets that don't usually talk about golf, are talking about golf this week. But you can see from the consistency standpoint that the work ethic's there, the knowledge is there, the research is put in, and what you guys have done this week speaks for itself. So definitely go check out all the content at ontapsportsnet.com.
Thank you very much for those kind words, good sir. I hope Masters Week treats you wonderfully. I know we'll be in communication through all of that. Looking forward to it. Until next time, everyone, best of luck with your bets during Masters Week. Hopefully we all cash a lot of tickets at Augusta National. Until next time, crack 'em, lock 'em.
Fuck 'em.